So here are the craziest things you probably didn't know about Sani Abacha. Yeah, Sani Abacha refused to take the IMF's loan in exchange for implementing their structural adjustment program, first introduced in 1986 under Ibrahim Babangida, who upon implementing it saw the total collapse of the Nigerian economy. Now fast forward to 30 years later, and we are seeing those exact same things that happened during Ibrahim Babangida's regime being repeated today. Are Nigerians suffering the consequences of not taking their history serious enough? One of the core tenets of the IMF Structural Adjustment Program is the privatization and commercialization of government-owned businesses. Now, in simple terms, it simply means giving ownership and proceeds of government-owned enterprises or critical businesses to foreigners, or in more recent time, to a sitting president's nephew. The second being the devaluation of the naira. The naira went from 90 kobo per dollar in 1985 down to 22 naira per dollar in 1993, all under the so-called Ibrahim Babangida's reform. Now, 30 years later, do you remember who promised to reduce your purchasing power all the way from 650 naira per dollar down to 1,400 naira per dollar?
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people.
Exactly. The third and probably most painful of these tenets is the reduction in public spending on social services, especially education. So now you start to understand why the Nnamdi Azikiwe Teaching Hospital suddenly tried to increase their tuition fees from 95,000 all the way to 500,000 naira. And before you say, oh, it's all conspiracy theory, go back to 2025. The federal government placed a 7-year ban on the creation of new federal universities while simultaneously approving the creation of 9 new private universities, which we both know would be unaffordable for the average Nigerians. And you start to ask the question, why all this? Well, because education makes you civilized. Is why it is easier to brainwash a 16-year-old child in the northern part of Nigeria into carrying arms in insurgency versus southwestern and southeastern part of Nigeria. And they are taking this away from you, not by shutting down the universities, but by making them dangerously unaffordable for you, the average Nigerian. The fourth being the removal of subsidy on petroleum products. Although Sani Abacha did remove subsidy on petroleum products, but it came with probably the most practical positive result on Nigerian lives. Increased the Nigerian foreign reserve from $494 million to $9 billion, while reducing Nigeria's inflation rates from 54% down to 8.5%. Now, to put this into context, current inflation rate of Nigeria is around 15%. Did all this while Nigeria was under serious economic sanctions. We will talk about that in the part 2 of this video, if there will be a part 2. Fifth tenet of the structural adjustment program is the expansion of the tax net. Where have you heard that before?
Let's widen the tax net.
Exactly. So now you're starting to understand where our problems might be coming from. If you like this video and would like to see a part 2 of some of the things you didn't know about Sani Abacha, drop it down in the comment section.